Hey pals, so it is me again. I don't know why I'm making this video. I thought it might be helpful, maybe just for people interested. I don't know, mate. So I graduated from a creative writing bachelor's degree with a 2-1. I thought I would talk about the recommended reading lists and such forth. What I did read, what I didn't read. Sorry, this light is giving me a migraine literally already. What I thought about what I read, why we were supposed to read it, what it was supposed to teach us, you know? Kind of modules I did. I did a creative writing bachelor's, so it's a little bit, it's different to a general English literature degree. I think it might be more on par with like a creative writing master's when it comes to course content, because we didn't do exams. All of our essays were basically on the writing process and what, you know, I don't know, my brain hurts. But it's not the same as that. I feel like it would be similar to the creative writing masters because it's more specific to the actual act of creative writing. Please excuse me, this light just makes me want to fucking die. Right, so I made loads of notes. So we're going chronological order as best as I can do. I remember one of our first modules that we had to do was basically just foundations of writing. So it was literally back to basics, which I found really useful as a dyslexic person. I still could not tell you what a verb, adjective, adverb, any of that, no idea. Still not a clue. Everything I do is based off of just kind of guessing, but from having learnt through trial and error my entire life, basically. But I mean, apparently it works pretty well. I got a 2-1, so we had these like 3 main texts to use. Penguin Writer's Manual, The Elements of Style by Strunk and White, not Strunk and White, Strunk and White. I think this book might have been on the curriculum, but I don't remember. How Fiction Works by James Wood. But I also have a little book called How to Be a Writer by Stuart Ferris. Don't know, in case you're interested. I also did read the Writing for Dummies. And then we were also told to, I don't remember which module this was in. I think it was just a general one. But we were told to read something by Stephen King. Stephen King's On Writing, because he has like a toolbox section. That's literally the only bit I read, and it was kind of useful, but I also just really don't like Stephen King. I have no interest in anything he writes, but also I don't like how he writes. He really just loves to throw in slurs for no reason, you know? But okay, you do you. I had a module called Reading Across Literary Forms. So this was where we would basically have either an excerpt or a short story from like a range of different genres. I don't think this was that module, but we've got George Orwell's Why I Write. I vaguely remember that one. There were lots of like kind of pieces that were attempting to be profound. Dorothea Brandy, The 4 Difficulties. John Cook Workshops. The John Cook Workshops is an excerpt from the Creative Writing Coursebook. Rosalie Morales Kearns, Voice of Authority, Theorizing, Creative Writing, Pedagogy. That's not a real word, that's fake, made up. Michelle Wander, Creative Writing and Pedagogy. Tim Parks, Literature Without Style. And those were all pieces on like writing and how to write and why people write And I remember writing an essay, I think, on this. Who knows? There is another Why I Write Will Self by S. Kinson that I don't have on my list. Oh, and there's one by, I assume that's Sadie Smith, Fail Better. I don't really remember reading that. I don't remember reading it, but I have a vague idea that I maybe did read it at some point, but I didn't write about it at all. But okay, that's probably a good one. Fail Better. We did a module called Writing Short Fiction. I remember this as being mostly workshop stuff. I mean, we were writing. It was us trying to write a longer short story. So like, I think about 3,000 words, whereas normally the ones that we did for the course were about 1,500. But I do have a reading list here. David Armstrong, How Not to Write a Novel. I think I did have that book, but I think I got rid of it. I don't think I read it. Michael Amzin and Heidi Ruby Miller. Many Genres, One Craft, Lessons in Writing Popular Fiction. Don't remember that. Untitled Chapter. Story and Discourse, Narrative Structure in Fiction and Film. Nope, don't remember reading that. Alicia Cox, Writing Short Stories. Nope. Richard Ford, The New Granta Book of the American Short Story. Nope. Damon Knight, Creating Short Fiction. Don't remember that. Ursula K. Le Guin, Steering the Craft. Don't remember that. Vladimir Prop, Morphology of the Folk Tale. I don't think I read that. And then it's got the Elements of Style at the end, which I did have and use. I still have that one, and it has notes in it. So I also did some media modules because there just weren't enough modules apparently to fill the creative writing course for 3 years. But I really enjoyed media, so that was fine with me. I did a podcast module in my first semester, which did not involve any writing or reading. We'll just go to the theory and popular culture. We had a textbook called Film and Television Analysis, an Intro to Methods and Theories and Approaches. I think what I've written on here is from my essay that I did, or essays. I think I did 2 essays. America on Film, Representing Race, Class, Gender and Sexuality at the Movies, Car Crash Culture, Dead Celebrities, Living Icons, Tragedy, and Fame in the Age of the Multimedia Superstar, Dressing Marilyn, How a Hollywood Icon Was Styled, The Star System, Hollywood's Production of Popular Identities, Marilyn Monroe, the biography, which I've talked about a few times on this channel because I still haven't read the full thing, Film as Social Practice, 2nd edition. So these were for 2 essays I did. One of them, I think, was on stardom. So I think we kind of had to basically pick a star to discuss like their life rising to fame, what it was like as a star. And it was kind of a little bit more on the psychology side of things, which I found interesting, but also a sociology sort of look at it. I did another essay on feminism. Yeah, feminism in film, in specifically Black Swan. But yeah, there was also a bit of further reading generally for the course and the modules, like lesson plan. There was Angelina Jolie's Carefully Orchestrated Image, which was just on the internet. Reviews Girl Interrupted. Don't know why I referenced that in my essay, but okay. Visible Fictions by J. Ellis. I don't know who that is. The Star System, I don't think I've mentioned, by P. MacDonald, Hollywood's Production of Popular Identities. So that was for one of my essays. Oh. Right, I think this must be some of the stuff that I did not read. Theorizing Culture, an Interdisciplinary Critique After Postmodernism. What does that mean? I have a degree. What does that mean? I was in this class. What does that mean? Cultural Studies, Theory and Practice, Sage, it says. I think that must have been where it was published. Film Studies, The Essential Resource. Social and Cultural Forms of Modernity. Cinema Studies, The Key Concepts, An Introduction to Film Studies. Cultural Studies and the Study of Popular Culture. Cultural Theory and Popular Culture. Introduction. Mouthful much? I don't remember any of those. What? Bershoff's Film and Television Analysis book again. Then the Black Swan DVD. Visual Pleasure and Narrative Cinema in Screen. Sigmund Freud. Pocket Essentials, apparently. On Perfection, Pain and Arts Making in Aronofsky's Black Swan. Well, that was convenient. Journal of Visual Art Practice. So that was my Black Swan essay. Do you remember reading any of that? Nope. I don't even really remember what I said. I don't know what I wrote in those essays. Do I still have those? I don't think I have those essays anymore. Don't know, mate. Yeah, and then there's this whole section of feminism and psychoanalysis books that they recommended. Gender and Film in An Introduction to Film Studies. Sex, Subjectivity and Representation in Cultural Studies, Theory and Practice. Feminism in Film. Feminist Film Studies, Writing the Woman into Cinema. I don't think I read any of these. This was like, because this was in my first year, and also the way essays were written in my media modules versus my creative writing modules were really different. The creative writing ones were a lot easier. Because you didn't really, you didn't have to reference much, and you didn't have to reference like too formally, whereas media were like quite strict on how you reference articles and stuff and wrote your bibliography and shit like that. And also because they would use like a range of sources, so you couldn't just kind of copy every single time, because if you were referencing a DVD, that's different to referencing a textbook or a novel or an article. And even like an article is different from other written things if it's online. It was just like, I remember every single time I had to write an essay, I had to re-teach myself how to reference, because it was just something that just did not stay in my head. And I still got it wrong every time, so I always had people to look at it for me. I remember in media, we would also like sit and watch some of or all of films. Like, I think we didn't have to. If we had the film or had already seen the film, we could just, do it in our spare time. But they were nice enough to put on a screening of films that we were either going to be talking about or studying in one of like the next lecture every week, so we could go and watch the film, make notes, refresh ourselves if we've already seen it. So it was like they gave us as many helpful opportunities as they could. They did what they could to help us, Okay, I'm sure I must be missing something. Like, I think I'm missing 2 modules that I can't remember for the life of me. So I think these remaining books were for, reading across literary forms. Reading like a writer, I think I had. I don't remember. I think I read some of it. The Dark Light is a novel. We were only told to fucking buy it and read it because we had the writer come in and talk about writing. So I did not read that one. I also found the lecture very boring. Sorry. Then we had The Statement. Oh my God. Visceral reactions to this book. I hated it. I did not finish it, I don't think. But I think I read quite a bit of it because I had to. I had to. I was being made to. I think this was for... God, what the fuck was it for? I don't know. I remember the teacher, and I think he liked the book, but I fucking hated it. Like, I think it was a book that changed point of view a lot, and I could not keep up with it. Every time it would change back and forth from italics and non-italic for when point of view changed. I don't even remember what the book was about. A crime, I think. Someone running away. I don't know, but I just remembered struggling to read it because I couldn't understand anything that was happening, and it made me very angry. I think I had to write about this at one point. And then I've got This Boy's Life, which was okay. I remember reading that. I only recently got rid of that book, actually, and that was a memoir. That must be what I'm missing here. I think we did something on memoirs, because I remember being made to write in class a scene from my life, and of course I was asked to read it out, but I was just like, no. But like, me and that lecturer had like a rapport. I think most people did not like him. I did though, because he was the one who taught all the basics, so everyone hated him because everyone hated that class. But I liked that class, and I liked him because I found it really helpful. Because I had never kind of officially done any proper creative writing classes. Like, I did the first year of A-level English language when I was in my second year of college, and I failed the exam, but I did well in the coursework. But besides that, I hadn't done any like creative writing stuff, which was why trying to get into university for creative writing was not as easy as you might think. Because I had not pre-planned this. I was doing drama and performing arts, so I found the foundations really helpful. It was boring. It really was boring. I hated it, but I found it helpful. And like, I went to uni because I wanted to learn, and I knew this was a weakness of mine because I'm dyslexic. Hi, sorry, I was dissociating. Yeah, I remember having to do some memoir stuff. Me and that lecturer had like a rapport that he kind of, I don't know, we understood each other, and he never made me do things. I also had this sort of level of rapport with my other lecturers who were like regulars, who, you know, were the main people of the course, that we had an understanding. If I had something to contribute and if I felt comfortable, I did, and I did a lot. So I appreciated when they left me alone, when I said no thanks. But yeah, I remember This Boy's Life. I don't know, man, like, it's not a book that I would have picked up by choice. It was a writer writing his memoir, and it was like a creative non-fiction, where not everything is explicitly true. It's based on what happened, but, you know, dramatized a little bit for storytelling's sake. And that's like literally what we were being taught, was that sort of thing. It's a good book, but I hated it for many reasons, because it's just full of things that make me really uncomfortable and really upset. Like, I'm pretty sure they kill a dog in that book. There's lots of other weird, not very nice things that happen. And I mean, I know it's based on his life, so fucking hell, man. That was by Tobias Wolff. So, I mean, if you want to understand more about creative non-fiction, that's a good piece to read. But I mean, there are so many other books like that I've read that would definitely teach you the same thing, just depending on what your personal interests are. But I mean, because we were a creative writing course, of course we had to read something by a writer about their life. Can't be anybody else. No, sir. I think that's my first year. I feel like I'm missing a lot of books now that I'm going over it, but I mean, I don't know. Let me know what you thought of this, because I did go to the effort of trying to find and write up all of my books and reading recommendations for the 3 years, not just first year. I have got all 3 years written up, but I was also thinking of doing a video on the books that I chose to write about that weren't on, not the prospectus, that's literally not it, recommendation, I don't know, because I did a final like essay in my last year that was about queer fiction kind of things. So If you want to hear about those books as well, let me know. I feel like I'll have more to say as the years go on, because I can remember them better, because they were, you know, not as long ago. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know, I was enjoying looking back on this stuff, because it's, even though it was a really rough time in my life, I loved uni. I really loved learning. I even loved writing essays. Like, what the fuck? Like, I really enjoyed the challenge and the atmosphere, everything. I really enjoyed that experience, and I'm really thankful for the people that I met, the lecturers I had. And as I am trying to prepare like a piece to apply for master's courses, I don't know, I've been feeling nostalgic, and looking back on some of the work that I did is helpful for that, I guess. I don't even know what the application process is going to be like, so I don't know, maybe I'll do some videos based on the actual application process. I've seen people have done that sort of thing, because I'll probably have to write some kind of personal statement type thing. Oh, I don't know. I basically have mainly been focusing on the creative writing aspect of it, because I know that without that I can't apply. That's what I'm working on right now, and that's what I was working on in my video where I did a virtual writers retreat, which was a very nice, interesting experience. I recommend you watch that and maybe go and try one out for yourself if you're also a writer. And with that, leave a like on my video, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think and what you would like to see, and subscribe to my channel, because I'm sad and alone. I'll see you next week. Bye.